Hello, this is Nathaniel, Psychic Medium, here with a channeled new moon guided reading for the new moon, June 18th, 2023, channeled from Spirit for collective guidance for all of us. This new moon, there is a real emphasis on the idea of this opportunity around the new moon being a clean slate for us all. There is a real enthusiasm coming through in the energy where it's really encouraging a sense of passion and excitement in us over the power that we have to leverage our realities using the powers of the universe, the ways that the laws of nature work. And there feels as though there's this message coming through to say the energy is really high and really ripe right now, and the energy is very conducive to breakthroughs and also to being able to back your actions so that you can feel a momentum carrying you forwards with your actions. And the energy is really saying you're creators of reality, and it's important for you to leverage this to create more fulfillment in your reality so that you can enjoy what this time-space reality was designed for you for. It is designed for you to be able to create and to be able to see your creations come to fruition and enjoy the experience of those inner visions being experienced in an embodied way here in the physical reality. That is what brings us great fulfillment and great joy, taking the thoughts that we have beyond what they have been before, taking our visions beyond what they have been before, and seeing them play out in this beautiful reality in this way that can fill us up with even more of who we are as a being, and fill the world up with even more of who we are as beings, putting our stamp onto the world. And when we're connected to our souls doing this, connected to our hearts doing this, we are expressing more of heaven on earth, because that is our soul expression here. Our soul is of that benevolent love, that light-filled love. It comes from spirit, that non-physical space that we return to at the end of our lives here. And we are here to express more of the essence of that here into this world. It is the great spirit exploring itself through greater dimensions and greater levels of experience and greater levels of life and reality, and taking things beyond what it has ever been before. And in that sense, there is a kernel of passion and excitement and magic that Spirit wants to offer to all of us in knowing that with this new moon, and how we can harness the energy of this to have a clean slate for ourselves, to start over no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what's going on in our lives. We have the power to be able to create moving forwards anything that we need, anything that we want, to make our lives what we truly want it to be. Around this time across the planet, many of us, if not most of us, will be feeling a sense of emptiness. This isn't accompanied with any sense of sadness. It may be for you personally if you've got things going on within your life at a subjective level. But the collective energy, it feels as though we're going to be experiencing this sense of emptiness around the new moon. Emptiness as in pure potential. Emptiness as in not really knowing what the energy is telling us, not really knowing what the guidance is telling us to do. And it's because we're not being told what to do by the universe. There's no assertion. There is a current moving forwards, and we choose to be in alignment with it or not, to buck the current of that or not. We have our own current here as beings that we're riding the flow of as we create in this reality. The energy is really pulling back and making you center stage, all of us center stage. And it's asking you, what are you going to do with the energy? How would you like to flow with the energy? How would you like to create the energy with the energy? So around this new moon, if we're feeling a little bit empty, or as though we have no foundation beneath us, as though there's this feeling within us of nothing going on, as though it's feeling as though we've arrived at this point of life of, what now? Not sure what to do. Feeling a bit unanchored, feeling a bit like there isn't anything in the pipeline to look forward to in the future, and as though I'm not connected to anything in the past, and I'm in this void or vacuum of the present. And this vacuum is there to really encourage us to see that we are the magic makers, that we are the channelers of our energy into this world. We are the weavers of life. We are the weavers of the web of life. So we need to harness that energy in a conscious way. And the energy is asking us to stop living on autopilot, to stop living in by default. And it's asking you to use the energy for your own gain, for your own inner visions, for your own desires. When each of us are doing that individually, collectively, that makes up a world of people living in great fulfillment, living in great alignment with themselves. And if we're creating that fulfillment respectively in our own lives, do the maths and add that up for everyone in the world doing that. We're living in a much more gratified and fulfilled world. And not only that, but the laws of nature put us all in our right places because of law of attraction. We go to where we're resonating. We go to where we are best placed, to where our best interests are best served. I also want to talk about the awakening energy across the planet, how humanity is undergoing an awakening process, and how there are different factions of people across the planet at different stages of their own awakening. And in that, we are comprising different communities of awakening, if you like, rather than different levels or different hierarchies, different stages that's dividing us as different communities where we are resonating with different levels of awakening in regards to the tools that best serve us at that stage of awakening, that stage of awareness. And it's difficult to talk about these things because there's no graduation and there was no starting gate. But there is an inner sense of being able to measure your own growth as a being with your brain, with a linear experience of having a brain. And so when we're going through our awakening, we do experience these levels of growth, and we do have this perspective of other people being at different levels of growth or different spaces of being where they're growing in different ways. And with that, the energy is really wanting to make us aware of how at this point we're all starting to reach this culmination stage where many of us are starting to feel the alertness from the life force, feeling this stirring, feeling this sense of something going on, feeling this sense of remembering that there's more to life, remembering that there's more to themselves, more to being here. And then on that end of the spectrum, jumping to the other end, we have those people who are very highly aware and very much conscious of what is going on with the cosmos, and really harnessing the energy and really leading the new thought and taking that energy through the lens of leadership to help others know how to navigate it and to show the way. And there is a sense of us all building towards this collective agreement, this agreement in reality, where we are aware of this need to be conscious in the world. And that is a spirituality, even if it manifests itself as needing to be aware of the environment, needing to be aware of the earth's needs, the needs of the animals and the plant kingdoms, the needs for kindness in the world, for more understanding and cooperation. All of this is spirituality, even if it doesn't look like the conditioned idea of an awakened world as per the New Age ideologies that disseminate across the world. There is another strange mix of energy around this new moon that I want to talk about, and I'm feeling inspired with these ideas of laughter and sorrow. And I'm seeing the moon in tears, and yet I'm seeing a court jester dancing in its moonlight. And it's given me this feeling that there are difficult things going on in the world. Yes, they're undeniable, and when trauma happens, it happens. When something harrowing, stark and horrific is going on, that's the truth of it in that moment. It's horrific, stark and harrowing. When moments pass and we're able to digest an experience, and we're able to zoom out again to the bird's eye view, there is this bittersweet awareness of the good and the bad, the happy and the sad. And there's this notion coming through with this energy right now that is inviting us to be able to hold space for emotions of both sorrow, grief, tragedy, melancholy and sadness, as well as taking life in our stride and not taking things so seriously. It's almost as though the energy is making us aware of how things are so bad sometimes that all we can do is laugh and come together in comedy about things, and come together in hilarity and in play and in taking things more comically and humorously and lightheartedly, in spite of the trauma, in spite of that which is harrowing and horrific, in spite of the things in the world that can fill us with terror and shock and trauma. It's about being able to ridicule the power of that, with the power inside of you to come together with others and turn tears of sadness into tears of joy. Spirit also shares a prayer at this time for anyone that is going through any difficult situations involving loss, grief, trauma, situations involving crime and violence, situations involving imprisonment and bondage and lack of freedom, hopelessness and despair. Spirit wants to give love to those situations in the world. There is little that Spirit can do sitting in non-physical, observing our realities through us, for we have chosen to participate in this reality. That doesn't make the painful experiences that we go through any less painful. Spirit understands this, and Spirit is also learning how Spirit can help us in our realities here from their perspective in non-physical reality. Spirit is also learning and evolving itself as a collective from the vantage point of Spirit, if we compare that relative to the vantage point of humanity here in incarnation. So there is also a growth and learning and evolutionary process going on for that side of experience, for that side of beingness. And Spirit is working with us in co-creation here in this reality, and is wanting us to connect with it more consciously so that Spirit can intervene and offer its assistance in our worlds in a way that is more conscious, more palpable, more consistent, and more fulfilling for us as humans here receiving the help of Spirit, so that it registers in our experience as more emotional relief, as more mental clarity and mental awareness of the guidance, as more physical experience of Spirit alongside us here in this world. Finally, the resounding message from Spirit is about us connecting to divinity at this time, to include within our intentions for this new moon and moving forwards into the rest of our lives, especially the rest of this year, as the energy picks up and amplifies and synergizes with what's going on within inside of us. It's important for us to connect to divinity and allow that connection to augment our intentions and assist us in creating the best for us and the best for all. There is also this message about us connecting with elders and to connect with the wisdom keepers of the world and to appreciate the messages and the inspiration that comes through them, because I feel that they're very switched on right now, and those who have been in here in the world treading the path of life for longer than those who are younger, I feel that there is an energy coming through elders at this time that the rest of us really need to listen to. And why there is this why elders are being chosen in that way to convey this energy is neither here nor there. It's more about us connecting to the wisdom of the elders and appreciating that there are beings here who have something to offer, even when young bloods are coming up with fresh energy, exuberant energy that is moving them forwards, and saying it like it is, making them feel like they know it all. And it's important for us to really include community around this time of the new moon, and that's why it's feeling like that community has to involve the community of Spirit and with each other and our kin here on earth, and also with that our elders here, connecting with elders to know how to enrich our lives, how to live a better life, and listening to the elders not only in our own personal lives but in the world as well, listening to the wisdom keepers of the world. It's also feeling as though there are many great souls who have left their stamp on the world and who have been here to impart wisdom for the new paradigm, who are going to be leaving this world and passing the torch down. And so it's important for us to take their kernels of insight and wisdom and the kindness that they're and love that they're offering in there, and to take it within ourselves and to recycle that, to share that, to keep the message of love and kindness and connection flowing through this world. And lastly, Spirit's message is life is what you make it, and life is what you want it to be. but don't forget that you are a life amongst lives. And the call to action around this new moon is really about us including the rest of life. It really is about us harmonizing with the rest of life and with each other. It's about us understanding how to make our desires and intentions for our own lives less insular and less disconnected and less just for self and more for one and for all for one and one for all. That isn't to allay or to deprive anyone's desires for themselves. It isn't to discourage anyone from going out there and attaining what they truly desire and building the life that they really want and dream of. But it's about doing that in tandem with your awareness of the rest of the world and what the rest of the world needs. And with that, I send lots of love. I send a prayer to the victims of the crime that has been committed in France around this time. And I give my love to all the loved ones and those fighting for their lives. And I give love from spirit around this new moon. All the best to all of us. Take care.